Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about the Fext hobby train system. Here is one system built. I may have made some mistakes across it, so I'm going to be honest about where and how I've built certain things. But I actually really like this set a lot. It actually took me a while to get around to building it, unfortunately, because I've been so busy. So something that would have normally taken me one day to build took me months, simply because I didn't have the time to sit down and focus on it. So I'm very happy with actually building it and having it, but I want to take the time to build more when I get more sets in, because I actually like the way this structure is done, and I would really like to see how it would look when you build multiple ones. So let's jump into the video. So one of the things that I mentioned previously was how much time it took me. If you sit down one day nonstop, it shouldn't take more than a couple of hours for you to build. The reason why it took me so long is because in between moving and having space to do things, I just did not have the time. But after it being built, even with the flaws that I've done in mine, I actually really enjoyed the therapeutic time that to sit down and just really just focus on this. Now, again, I've mentioned that I've made some mistakes, and I'll talk about that when I get to the magnetic part of the doors. But in our straight up build of this hall dio, for those of you that like to use Figmas and things like that, or smaller SHF, this is perfectly scaled for that. When you talk about G.I. Joe Classified and other figures, it fits most 6-inch figures as well. Will you hit a snag is going to be stuff like the NECA stuff or McFarlane figures. Those figures are much larger, so they'll look gigantic in it, but also kind of fit. And it's weird depending on how you put it. But when we show it by moving it, let me lift up as we make some sounds. And as you can see here from this dial point, let's actually go to the straight down method. And as you can see, you have the depth. When you look this way, you'll actually be able to see like just down it. If you want to just take out the seats, they are not attached to anything, you can actually just move the railway out. That way you can have a full train car fight if you wanted to get it done this way. And that's what I actually love about this perspective and depth of it. It's really nice. And if you're worried about it, how it's going to look on the backhand side, so you have what would be your inner compartment on the outside. It's actually made to look like an outside train car as well. So it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, the other side, there's nothing there. Nope. It absolutely shows you the other side as well too. So that way, if you wanted to do the hanging out the train doors, doing Spider-Man thwipping alongside the train car, all of that is easily possible. And as we move it back across, this is actually removable too, so you don't have to have this stand in your way. This actually helps you keep it from leaning in case you have any weight issues. Now, I'm going to leave this out. Last but not least, I want to talk about our strap hangers, things like that. These are actually movable, right? As a New York guy, strap hangers the handles have changed over time, so this is more of a Japanese or Korea angle with the red lining, but I'm okay with that train system. Now, in terms of sizing out figures on it, as you can see here, here we have a Mafex Spider-Man. As you can see, he's taller than the railway system, right? Let's get those feet flat. There we go. So he's a little bit taller, but he actually looks really good inside the system, right? Then if you want to use a SHF, right? Here's Kamen Rider Revice. Again, let me get those feet flat. So here's Kamen Rider Revice. As you can see, he's a tad bit smaller, but he still fits well in scale. I don't know why. I gotta really get a new table because the lopsidedness of the table definitely makes everything lean. And as you can see with these guys, they kind of even out, like even with the railing. Now, let's say you wanted a different look, right? I'm gonna leave these guys right there on the side. Let's say you wanted a different look and you didn't like with the railing in it, right? Let me add this guy back so we can get that in there. But we can actually remove these by just lifting up and lifting out. See, they come right out. So you have different options. And then what I'll do is I'll move the seat right back in. And voila, just like that, right? And as far as a Mezco figure goes, this is a Gomez size body. As you can see, it's a Mezco Me, but on a Gomez size body. Even just sitting down in the train system, doing that Jujutsu Kaisen opening, you can sit them down, sit to get those feet flat. And as you can see here, look, you have options. And I know my lights are a little bright. That's because I just wanted it to really show off. Get a little bit lower. So yeah. Now, the one thing I did not do well at was talking about the. I'm sorry. The one thing I didn't do well at was hooking up the magnetic doors. I actually had some problems with that, getting that in there. That's not something I don't think I think I misunderstood the instructions, and I don't think I introduced them properly. So that was something I had issues with, and I'm gonna get to that right now. Actually, one more thing before I get that, because I'm all over the place. The light piping up top is really one of my favorite things. So let's say you didn't get enough light inside. It's actually translucent up top, so you can actually get light through the top if you want. And I really, really like that on the Fext hobby stuff. So I want to keep that in mind for you. Now, we're going to jump to the magnetic doors part. So I'll see you guys in a sec. All right, now we're going to talk about the magnetic door feature because that's not something I did well. Now, we're going to turn it around. And one of the things that I do like is that even without the magnetic doors feature, right? Change our focus. Even without the magnetic doors feature, I actually was able to take this piece, right? Because there are magnets that line it, but I was able to take this piece and turn it into, because they're supposed to stick to these platings, and I feel like I've done something wrong because they're not doing it. Like I said, I feel like I've misunderstood the instructions, and that's on me. That's because this lining up here has magnets that's supposed to coincide with what you're doing, and I did not line those up well. But I do like the open door feature overall because the doors can still open and you can still use the feature, but they just don't hang off like they're supposed to magnet wise. And again, I'm going to probably rebuild it and talk about it. And that's why I want to get another set. But with this set alone, I honestly don't know where I went wrong. And I reached out to Fext Hobby. They're actually going to explain it to me because they're actually really cool like that. And I appreciate them for that. But overall, I love this train set. I'm hoping to get some really dope photos out of it. I'm hoping to get some really nice lighting sets, try some different lighting techniques. It's something I really wanted to try that's different. So I want to say thanks to everybody rooting for me, talking about it on Twitter, because I was actually very scared to do this kind of video. And here I am doing it. So I appreciate you guys. Can't say anything else other than thank you so much for it. And I appreciate it. One of the things, when I talked about larger figures, I meant it. Like, here is a NECA Scout Predator. And as you can see, he's standing and towering over it. So he would have to hunch over, which would actually make for really cool photos when we talk about it and think about it. You think about them being hunched over inside of the train car, like trying to fight. So think about that. I might try to actually do something like that. But again, thank you so much. Oh, by the way, we've reached 90K, and that's all thanks to you guys. I appreciate it, for real. So I do want to say thank you again for that. Thanks from Ichigo, Riley, Batman, my wife. I appreciate you guys, for real. And as always, please, be good, do good. Drink your water, guys. Later.